Read my lips, brand new taxes, starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Max. Radio station just censored the word devil. Clearly, we are on a different level. I guess you wouldn't notice all the rolling boulders crashing past your shoulders when you're taught to shift your focus lower, scream at all the pebbles. Cheering on the bombers because you can't abide the rebels. But I bet you'll wring your bloody hands when all the dust has settled, when the last little limb is pulled from Gaza's twisted metal. Then you can say how you were led astray, and never once in all your days would you have knowingly supported all the genocide for which you clapped and prayed. But they baited you with unconfirmed blurbs about babies until you were filled with rage. Yet someone told you babies had been starving, bombed, and caged for nearly 80 years in Gaza, and you looked the other way. So regret, but make it fashion. Go and pluck that final petal off a hyacinth on Instagram for every kid they kettled. Every son that Israel imprisoned when they're little, that they tortured for a decade, then surprised with their acquittal. And when they got released and saw their parents, and whenever siblings hadn't met the missiles, they stared right through their middle. Their eyes don't seem to focus, and their words are all but dribble, like they're pondering the darkest riddle. That is, how many false flags does it take to make humanity inhuman and uncivil, distorted by the revel? The crooked slant where Israel contorts into America, Biden bathing Bibi in a bloodbath in the bevel. I opened up my feed, and I saw children disassembled. Turned some music on, and heard the station censor devil. Imagine thinking Doja Cat's a threat to moral fabric in the single largest terror cell that ever felled a temple, that ever sparked a cleansing, that ever burned a market, that ever raped with bayonets or carpet-bombed apartments, that ever turned your water off and left you in the darkness, left you doing surgery on children while they're conscious. You sing the devil's praises every time you sing our anthem. You sing a hymn to him that watched us birth a million phantoms. You'll proudly wave his flag, and yet you will not name the devil? Well, clearly, we are on a different level. I can give you names. Shit, I'll give you several. They say the devil wears a different face for every general, like a composite of the char he brought to fields of emerald, and the wail of every childhood we made ephemeral. So who else has left the stain of blood on everything they touch? Who else can starve civilians and they don't so much as blush? Who else has paid for Gaza being flattened into dust? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. That's U.S. What an ugly couple letters. Feeding shit and ignorance to those it chose to tether. From the river to the sea, both are slowly growing redder. For the devil that you know just knows you better. It knows every gut reaction it could ever make you feel. It knows fear is that which wakes you up and gets you on your wheel. It knows just the kind of story that will justify its war. And the scripts are wrapped for World War IV. So just imagine my surprise to give the radio a listen and to hear such pious morals out of Zionists and Christians that they'd take the devil's name and try to clip it from existence while they carry out his bloody business. You would wave a fascist flag, and yet you honor not your Iblis? Name you not Apollyon? Hush you now your witness? Bleed the name of Belial till tongue is rolling listless in the man-made mouth of Mammon, as Lamia's whispers listen. When carts are wheeling bodies through the cities that we crushed, and the very air is rotten with decay of all that was, who else would censor devil yet behave as Legion does? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. U.S., but not a unity of souls. More a mass of corporations turning houses into holes, turning people into puppets, turning puppets into mold, turning mold into nutrition bars worth their weight in gold because they're bombing every bakery and burning every field with phosphorus that never once has wanted for a meal. The devil wears a mask and it delights in the reveal, in that moment where the face is let to peel. We do not love the underdog. We do not cheer the rebels. We lust for all their blood until the dust has finally settled. Then pity just ourselves that we were so misled to revel. Proudly wave his flag, and yet we will not name the devil. Carved upon a marble altar, somewhere in a lab, are runes that match an amulet upon an onyx slab. Doctor in a white coat, guards in olive drab. Kissinger unconscious, but as Providence would have, when the doctor stands beside him and he holds out the medallion, unconsciously, instinctively, he reaches up and grabs. Deep inside a black site that is right beneath our streets, the sacrifice was made by which they demonized our speech. The roots that fed the tree of life decayed beneath our feet, and its sap was a suspension for a small medallion piece. As the doctor starts to sway a bit, he takes the vial and places it inside of Cheney's heart that it might never cease to beat. And I wish it wasn't so, but no, the final piece to mention is the one that fueled our overlord's unholiest ascension, to afford him zero comment on the char and the distension on the bodies in Lahaina, or that growing sickly stench of every Blackrock vulture gathered for what Biden paid as rent on the medallion shard they gave him on the eve of the convention. He had seen its strength extend the life of all his favorite vermin, and the peace that he inherited had come from Father Thurmond, another artifact he had been gifted by the Germans to see one's will made manifest, one's destiny determined. A note attached read, "All our best, Werner, Fritz, and Herman. May you marinate in Wehrmacht that ferments behind the curtains." Now here we are today, and Biden keeps it on his person. If Biden's what you'd even call a person. The curse is something ancient. It is raw abortifacient that they shoveled down the throats of those who built and birthed a nation. It is fused into those corpses funding war on all occasions, and it's all that's kept McConnell from a state of vegetation. It is carried by the Senate doctors, whispered by the nurses. It's a perk to keep you perky for your centuries of service. It's the concentrated evil that's been powering our purges and coaxing every coup along, the dogs and drones and dirges. The nations we have raped because they would not consent to purchase. It pries our leaders' eyes awake and drives our country's urges to the darkest point where human hope and human truth converges. So look in Biden's eyes and see the rush on which he surges is the same that lit the flame that burned your churches. And those flames have had their day to see the vessels burned away, but the medallion, unscathed, always emerges. For as election season licks its lips and smells its purpose, there at once appears a motorcade of hearses. The calling of the pit like a liturgical insurgent, skinning off a sermon from the verses. He clutches a medallion of which he is just a servant, falling down a path with no divergence. Now some people wonder loudly just how low a man can go. Well, somewhere in a lab they've logged effects of pure immersion. How long can someone lay upon that ancient onyx slab before rising up a wholly different person? How blackened can one be within the ink of human greed before their voters start to see a different version? How corrupted from within before you see it in their skin? How blighted till it rises to the surface? Till it bleeds into your eye, or you stand from time to time staring off into the press like they were comets in the skies? How long until your arteries start clogging up with flies? How long till child labor phantoms haunt you in the night? How long has the medallion been deciding who survives? How long till it demands a higher price? and new taxes, starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Maxes. Topple Congress off their axis, mobilize the homeless, give them axes, call it praxis. Chop a couple limbs off the legislative branches. We'll show you the difference between air as a human right and guaranteed oxygen access. Octogenarians who barely know what day it is are culling countless citizens while sitting on a dais made of ignorance that was built on the graves of the slaves made to labor for its self-declared significance. And all to build a Congress full of millionaires who make their fortunes insider trading while they shit on all the indigent. So I got a bone to pick with our leaders, and I'll start with the ligaments. Pick right through the muscle, dig the marrow out, and serve it to the unhoused millions living in their minivans or watching their belongings get evicted from their tenement. I have a dream where we breach the walls of Congress and just let them in. And what happens next will survive in only text, cause there won't be any evidence. There will only be that heavy kind of feeling that pervades a space where there has been a reckoning and you can feel its remnants. Let any man who enters seeking power know that those who came before him suffocated on their eminence. That there once was a seal on the wall, but we quartered it and scattered all the pieces that it might prevent its semblance. And so we end the great experiment. We'll take all your billions, leave you 2 coins for the ferryman. Leave you drifting on a Dutchman floating derelict among the wretched seraphim. For holy is the hand that wiped the land clean of those who pose as gentlemen. That's my time, honey, cue the thunderclap and strike the theremin. And so we end the great experiment.
That's how it goes. We won't open our eyes, so we're the last ones to know. We're the last ones alive. Kept our enemies close. Wondered why we don't thrive while we're grasping at ghosts. Wondered why we birds from 5, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards from 5.
Count back from 5. The theater on fire, the cast on strike. The studio stock starts taking a dive. The contract's tossed and they're gone with the tide. The heads and execs, their hands are tied. We can't pump this dreck and treat you right. But what do you expect from the industry type who survive by the leeching of bodies and minds? From those who original thoughts never seem to find. So they're gonna reboot ALF before your wages rise. And it gives cause to pause and reflect on the times. If they're losing control of their fools and their mimes, when all those obedient actors who grew their careers by averting their eyes are now holding the line, along with the authors of countless scripts that strengthen the hand of that corporate grip, squeezing our throats till we take the pen and we accept and consent to the corporate drip, till you're all up to date on your pharma du jour, till you got a healthy support for the war on your lips.
What? Hi, everybody. There we go. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody, what happened? It took a delay there for a second. Okay, we're really here. Hi, yes, don't go anywhere. It's American tradition. Oh my God, it's another Tuesday, and it's 2 Tuesdays since Jesse's birthday. Holy moly! Reef had a birthday. Crab had a birthday. Shabby had a birthday. Fiorella had a birthday. A lot of people have birthdays. A lot of parents be fucking.
Pisces in the house.
So yeah, it's Bohemian Grove night.
Yeah, I figured I think we went into a couple little particulars of that piece when I first did it on here, but like all of a sudden everyone's talking about Bohemian Grove. There's all kinds of horrible, disturbing shit coming out, and yeah, so I was like, what better time than now to go ahead and like deep dive that. I'd mentioned that I wanted to get back to kind of what we started to do this show for, which was to pick a few pieces and like really dissect them, and that, and then I have just a fun little alternate beat from a piece that I had isolated that I wanted to play for everybody, and then a couple other pieces we'll do. So yeah, it should be fun.
Cool, man. That sounds like a good time.
But yeah, here we are. Got Castro in the house talking up a fucking storm as always.
As always.
Hi.
He just walked in. We've added, you can see a couple things to this little thing, this little down QR code in the corner. Hopefully you can see it, scan it, and it's big enough for you guys to scan if you can. po-feed.com/Indie News Network. It's going to be real small on mobile. I'll have to drop that link in here. I think Nightbot's actually going to do that anyway on behalf of Reef set that up. Welcome everybody. Happy to see everyone as always. Cynic, Natalie Williams. This Leo loves the Pisces. That's right. Okay, we got someone who loves the astrology. That's that's the word I couldn't get out.
Charlie Mack, you will be happy to know I have started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I am struggling. I am struggle busting hard on that game. It's a very unforgiving system of legality, such as in life. I'm just riding my horse, doing my thing, bumped into a guy. Suddenly it's like, oh, the law's looking for you. There's a $5 bounty on your head. Now bullets are flying at me. Now I'm dead. That was the sequence of events, all within a couple minutes. So the learning curve is steep, but it is very fun. So
but you at least get another life. You get another life.
Oh, so for sure.
You can start
come back,
over.
but with significant shame heaped on you.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's wonderful.
We are live on Rockfin. We are live on Rumble. So go hook it up over there. We're live over on Twitch and of course on Twitter /Elon's Playground.
The free speech zone.
Right. There's no chat, but you can actually watch on Telegram on your phone if you have Telegram, t.me/Indie News Network. We're over there. I didn't send it out to Instagram tonight. We'll push that out at some point, but I mentioned on Sunday night. I figured you might want to weigh in. Just and a thank you and ode to the Misty Winston show on TNT Radio, which ended on Friday.
I know, man.
And Jesse was one of the last guests, thankfully. And sadly that it's not continuing, but we'll figure out what's next with Misty. She reached out yesterday and wants to schedule a time to sit down and figure out what she wants to do next. And are we going to bring Bitch back or do something else? Or she's also talked about doing some kind of a music review show at some point. She wants to kind of get out of all the politics crap and really just hang out with friends. So there's a lot of things that she could potentially do.
I sent her an invitation, like in the interim, however many episodes she wants to come hang out and guest host with us. I was like, you are welcome to come anytime and chill out. It'd be really fun to just kind of mix things up, have a little guest action for a while,
Right.
Like if you feel like just coming and messing around and not having to, talk about all the same stuff, kind of have a little bit of a little interlude with some music, then there you go. So
Yeah, and in the meantime, she's going to be doing appearances, and she did like Fault Line, the Critical Hour today, and yesterday, the other day, she was on RBN, so she's going to be around quite a bit, and she's going to get a little bit of a break, which is nice, but we're sad that TNT Radio, and it's funny, Tara even commented on it. TNT replied to her and said that it was like some German investor that got stingy and didn't want to pony up, and everyone that had 1 hour shows got cut. I mean, it was like 2/3 of their staff. So it was a big hit. Yeah, it sucks. So what else has been happening? We were back for How Do We Miss That on Sunday night, and damn, did we have a good night. Numbers wise, it was one of the better shows, more attended shows than we've had in a long time. That was nice to have.
Nice. Look at us.
See how long it lasts. Look at us. All right.
Putting up them numbers.
All right. So do you want to start with Mort Boheme? Like, we didn't even talk about a set list or
I
anything.
was thinking about it. No, honestly, I had big plans for this. As you and Greg can attest, I was like, let's get a thumbnail ready. Let's promote early. And then I fucked up my knee at work this morning. Went and got it checked out and x-rayed. I didn't tear my meniscus, but the ligaments around it are fucked. So that's fun. And then I got home from work to find out that a really, really, really good friend of mine died yesterday. And I'm still trying to kind of wrap my brain around that one. And I didn't want to move the show tonight because I was like, I know he would totally want me to still do this. He was one of the first people I shared like town hall with. And in fact, after the virus went on Spotify, I came into work one day and he was my boss for a while. And I came in and they were listening to the virus on the can line at my job. And especially Barack fucking Obama. The bass line on that, he had an Audi with just this ridiculous sound system, and that song would just like break your ribs. It was so good. So yeah, if anything, I wanted to do tonight, for him. It's just one of the best, most genuine, sweet guys I could ever hope to meet. And I'm still not sure what happened, to be honest, but all I know is he was way too young. But yeah, man, if there's anything to take away from it, like we did the whole, life gets in the way, text each other once in a while, like, hey, we got to get together sometime. It's been too long, and then never did. And I have a lot of friends like that. And I, messaged and called quite a few to be like, okay, we are hanging out fucking this month. Like, absolutely, we have to, we have to. Yeah, like I said, I'm still kind of processing. I haven't really begun to, but I wanted to come do tonight anyway, because if I've learned anything about this show, it's like it's fantastic therapy for me. So my singing voice is not going to be great. I'm a little congested, but most of what I had planned is spoken word. So
I'm a little verklempt. I'm verklempt.
Right. Oh man. Like I said, no promises tonight. I always get a little verklempt anyway, but it's not gonna be pretty. Castro knows he is snugging. When this cat comes and rubs on you, he's got a tooth that kind of hangs on the corner and he drags that fucking thing on you. And I'm just getting like gouged up on my knuckles from all this love, but I appreciate it. So, yeah, all Bohemian right. Grove, all of a sudden, a couple months back, I don't know if anybody saw the video of the guy who basically kayaked up and went there at night and wandered around the facility. But it's totally worth the watch. That man needs to be protected at all costs. And yeah, it's just a really, really chilling look at this place that, when I first wrote this piece like 2 years ago now, and I started doing some research about it, what stuck with me the most was how much they've tried to play this off as something really mundane, just totally normal. This is just a place. These guys get together. We put on this play. We've done it for years, and it's kind of just tradition, just something we like to do. We're eccentrics. And like in the late 70s, a reporter wanted to do a piece about it and was let in to see it and talk about it and write about the place. And he described it as, yeah, it's weird, but you know, they do what they do to relax and have fun, and they have, you know, stressful jobs, so let's let them be weird. And they basically were just like, tee we all, you know, we all get together and just do this play. But it's one of those things that the more they try to normalize it, to me, the more sinister it seems. The fact that you have, you know, there was, I mean, athletes, politicians, actors, news anchors, all participating in this play where they symbolically burn a man who represents their cares, what they refer to as their dull cares, and they set him on fire and burn them for the year so they don't have to worry about little things. And I thought it was such a great example of, like, I don't know, I look at what people in power do, and I think, like, how do they sleep at night? How do they live with themselves? And I was wondering, well, maybe there's some sort of bargain they have to make to do that. Maybe there's something they have to go along with or sacrifice or commit to in order to not think about it and not let it, you know, get in the way of what they're doing. So then I was like, okay, let's just kind of have fun with that idea and go with it. There are a couple little references in this piece that I knew I would need to explain. And like, if there's anyone out there that gets one in particular off the top of their head, then we need to be best friends, because you know all the same weird nerd things I do. I will go ahead and bring it up.
Oh, okay. Well, we've already got some Ko-fis over here. Here's Jesse is still in Forever the Daddy, so now you can screen cap that. All right, and now we also have a $20 dono from Sean. This is all towards the
Sean.
This is towards the Jesse Computer Fund, and we're raising some money to buy a new PC or a laptop for Jesse so he can make even more incredible music and stream. And we've got a better camera for him, but his computer can't even hold it right now. So we're gonna build it up. We're gonna build it up. We need everybody's help. We really appreciate it. Anna, like, huge the other night, by the way.
Right? Oh my God.
She's here. She's over on the Rockfin, by the way. She says she has a head cold.
Anna, we love you.
She's hanging in as long as she can. So thank you, Anna. Love you.
Thank you. Seriously.
She was hyping up boats the other night. She was excited that we were back. Of course, we got 2 copyright hits on INN, and we pulled it down. It's on Rockfin and Rumble. They do not like that show.
Right.
They do not like that show at all. They do not like those those Reddit and TikTok videos that he finds. But yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. We really appreciate all the help. So I have the lyrics brought up for Mort Boheme. Do you want to listen? Okay. Do you want to read it? Do you want to play it? How do you want to do this, my man?
No, I'd love to read it, and then we'll break a few things down afterwards. But
right, so let me go to
when I read a few accounts of people who admitted to being in the group, and specifically people who were recorded as being a part of the play. According to the journalist that was allowed in, according to him, it was a mannequin that they use as a person. They have their effigy, and they wrap it in a black muslin wrap and set it on fire while they chant the word cremation. But apparently they do it like segmented, like the Budweiser frogs. Like one person says Cree, one says May, and one says Shun.
Oh, it's so creepy.
According to the journalist, the 3 people doing that at the time he witnessed the ritual were Walter Cronkite, George Bush Sr., and Clint Eastwood. And just the thought of those 3 people doing anything together is ludicrous. But the thought of them in these robes partaking in this ritual play, whatever, is bananas. But also, I'm at the point where there's nothing I won't like rule out completely, because like at some point it's all pretty plausible. You know, it really is. So yeah, this, you know, I took what they've admitted to and just kind of went from there.
Well,
And
we
definitely
I was going to play Curse Medallion tonight, and that gives very much a feel of kind of this. And I don't know if if you planned on reading that one tonight. If that was on the set list.
I probably was. I felt like it seems like it should be. If I'm kind of doing any of the cult vibes, anything that fits on this episode, it would definitely be that one.
Right.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces. This I really I kind of used an older poetry rhyme scheme style. And it's very much a love letter to H.P. Lovecraft. There's a few words and phrases that I feel like are very much would be at home in his vocabulary. So
you're going to see this in real time. I'm copying the link to the song so you can download this track yourself and listen to it and have it saved and throw the guy a couple bucks if you can. If not, that's cool. It's free, but enjoy the music, share it, listen to it.
Okay.
Well, go for it.
I'm ready when you are.
We are queued up and I'm ready.
All right. This is La Mort Boheme. A tinted caravan is coiled under onyx skies. It weaves the wilds, winding deep within the forest's bowels, where famous faces, every one of which you recognize, are all encircled, every one adorned in scarlet cowl. And in the center of the circle sits a sacrifice, with 30 robed and hooded figures stood before a massive owl. Its face is caked in moss, the torch is light, the flush of life is rushed into its carven eyes as horns exude a wounded howl. And soon there grows among the wealthy crowd a thunderous swell, the feral mouths of power, blackened words on blighted dirt. They heave communal dirge, unbodied more than tongue could tell. A kiss of Saturn's gas, in satyr flames the grotto bursts. And soon the CEOs will swirl immoral sarabands, and soon the oldest guard will bloom a grove of bacchanal, and soon the truth of power stares up from the bearer's hands, and I would see too much to ever feel like I came back at all. I'd see too much to not return there in my every dream. I'd see too much to not see cultists on the silver screen, to feel like I'd returned the same man I'd departed as, who didn't see the words of binding spelled out in the autographs. I can't explain to those that couldn't grasp the half of it, that didn't smell that sacrifice, that didn't hear the Baphomet. You'll never speak the words if you can't comprehend their alphabet, to hear the ataraxia that calls to all the rhapsodists. You don't know the exodus of all the earthly morals the triumvirate Trismegistus would purge before the start. The invocation always was intended as a choral, and they carve you all but hollow so its words might fill your heart. What rights they have to immolate and purge their worldly cares, so they are never bound by sympathy to see or hear our pain. They can edit out the screams of children piercing through the air. They can bound it black in muslin wrap and wash it all in flame. So Cronkite, Bush, and Eastwood walk into a ring of ruins, while Longfellow and Holmes are lying buried in Mount Auburn. They cry aloud, cremation, 'neath a silver sylvan moon, and set their effigy ablaze, that it may satisfy their sovereign. An offering to Providence, presented in a coffin by those who rose to prominence through war and entertainment. The gala glow of pageantry that hides a private auction that we don't need attend because we're there in form of payment. Maybe that's their whole arrangement, made to keep the dream alive, perpetuate enslavement, and still find a way to sleep at night. Now we know the measures that they'll take and what they deify. Never break the chain, and don't let Cheney near the hematite. Somewhere beneath the gaping onyx sky, where a beast was brought to raucous life that never truly dies, an owl is standing vigil at an altar in a grove, and the hoods all cover faces that you know. And that's La Mort Boheme.
Yeah, like so much to unpack. Holy crap.
So maybe the one that definitely needs explaining is really from a footnote in a Lovecraft story. The story I read it on here, Pickman's Model, about the painter who paints all this horrifying shit. There is a painting of his that's described as being all these like creatures underground that have a guidebook, like a local guidebook of Boston, that one of them is reading to the other group from aloud. And the title of the painting is Longfellow, Holmes, and Lowell lie buried in Mount Auburn. And Lovecraft's explanation was that the point of that painting was that like it's reading from this guidebook to the other like ghouls or creatures or whatever, and they're all laughing their asses off at what he's reading. And he wanted it to basically depict that he's talking about famous figures buried in the region, and all the creatures obviously know that the bodies aren't there anymore because they've taken them. And he couldn't find a good way to like get that point across, so he just kind of had a footnote in the story that if you look in the back that he explains, you know, kind of what he was going for there. And when I did the Cronkite, Bush, and Eastwood line, it made me think of Longfellow, Holmes, and Lowell. And so I decided to see if either of them had maybe been affiliated. And Longfellow and Holmes were. 2 out of the 3 were Bohemian Grove Old Guard members.
Holy shit.
I was like, well, there you go. There's the fucking next line, isn't it? So Cronkite, Bush, and Eastwood walk into a ring of runes while Longfellow and Holmes are lying buried in Mount Auburn. So yeah, there's 2 of the 3 dudes ended up being members. So it really goes extremely far, which to me, even if there's nothing sinister, if it's just they get together and they do this this play, and they have for 80 years now, 90 years, that's still fucking weird. That's still a big waste of time and resources. I don't know. Even if it's not like, it's just like that's what you guys have to, that's how you're spending your time. Like at the very least, it's just like a criminal amount of disconnect. But at the most, like, to me, the Occam's razor explanation is like, oh, you're in a fucking cult. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get together and all wear robes and participate in this ceremonial burning of an effigy if you're not in a fucking cult.
Skull and Bones. So, I mean, it's like an extension of Skull and Bones in a way.
Yep.
It's
so that's why I wanted to kind of say, like, maybe that's the line. Maybe that's their whole arrangement made to keep the dream alive, to perpetuate enslavement and still find a way to sleep at night. Now we know the measures that they'll take and what they deify. And then, of course, never break the chain and don't let Cheney near the hematite. Hematite will fuck up your pacemaker. So that's just a big no-no for Dick.
Oh, that's got a lot of connotations.
Yeah, right.
So Anna saying that she loves owls, and what else? Please don't ever stop boats, even if it's on a separate channel. That's funny. Reef loves doing boats too. I've talked about, I'd like to see us make it like its own show, like a Friday night show. Like the end of the week, you want to cut loose, you want to hang out and do something funny. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, we broke it out and I made it its own stream, partly so that we don't get hit, but also so that it gets its own due. I mean, dude does a lot of work to curate all that stuff, an hour worth of clips to watch, and we always have fun reacting. And unless you watched How Did We Miss That, you would never have known it was a show until we started doing that. So
yeah.
All right. We got the Mort Boheme done. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Before we get into the next piece,
right? No, right. There were a couple lines in here I wanted to look at, which was again, you brought ataraxia in to hear the ataraxia that calls to all the rhapsodists. Like, dude, what is it that it's called? What?
Oh, sorry. I was getting an echo from you. I turned on my speaker, and then I have it's muted on my phone, but I have chat going over here, and all of a sudden, little Indy started coming out of the speaker. Yeah, so I've used ataraxia a couple times now. I love that word. That is the polar opposite of what was it? Shit. I think it was the opposite of like hedonism or something, but ataraxia basically means like a freedom from trivial thought, freedom from little worries and concerns. And I've always loved the word, and this felt like the best place to finally use it, like its most perfect fit, because it really is, you know, if that's what they're actually doing. Let's say this is a ritual to not bother themselves with the suffering of the little people, you know, to really stomach the amount of eggs you have to break to make the omelet.
Well,
I don't know.
Right now it's 30,000 according to the record. You know,
exactly. That's how they would look at it, is that, you know, you have to tell yourself this is necessary for the greater good, or, you know, whatever you have to tell yourself. But it's almost more believable that they have to be under some sort of fucking spell to actually be human and let that go. Like something has to be controlling you or forcing your hand there. That can't just be real people. I'd rather it not be. I'd rather it be the most fucking horrible Lovecraftian kind of entity making them do that than than just real people able to, you know, sweep other people's suffering under the rug. Yeah, the triumvirate Trismegistus, that was just like I had to try to fuse those together. Trismegistus comes from Hermes. Hermes' full title was Hermes Trismegistus, which means thrice great Hermes. So seemed to work with triumvirate, the thrice great triumvirate. Just felt nice and culty, you know. Again, that was the fun of this piece, was like not necessarily just word salad, but to some extent they say that in like an invocation, it doesn't matter so much what you're saying as it does the recklessness of your speaking and the sound and feeling of what's coming out of your mouth. So I really wanted to just get to use some words that I wouldn't in other cases, like Sylvan and there were a few others. It was like I had a little checklist of some of my nerd words. I'm like, I'm gonna put you in there somewhere.
Blighted dirt, communal dirge. They heave communal dirge. I love that. Like there's like, I don't know.
Sarabands and Bacchanal. I just like, man, I will murder in Scrabble if I can get that on the board. Like I got that locked and loaded.
Bacchanal, like I'm telling, like I defy anybody to cover this piece. Anybody and nail it. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not doing this one on karaoke night.
But I also love the idea of, like, let's say you got to sneak in and watch the ritual in real time and how horrifying it would be, but you would also have this sort of baked in starstruckness, like, oh my gosh, look, that's Bruno Mars over there. Oh my God. Is that, holy shit. No, is that, it is. Oh my gosh, that's the guy that used to host Match Game. Like, you'd be seeing all these people, you're like, oh, that's so cool.
And a weird collection of people that you would never expect to see together in the same place, hanging out on top of it. And then, like,
Larry Bird and Catherine Zeta-Jones and Eddie Van Halen's ghost.
And there's like this weird whatever party atmosphere to it, like it's in the Hollywood Hills type of thing. But yeah.
Oh no, Sammy Hagar, Emerald Lagasse, and The Weeknd are chasing me and trying to murder me.
Right, like can you imagine when they tried to play Twister? Like, yeah, the stories, right?
Yeah, Nixon. I can't repeat Nixon's quote, but it's worth looking it up. It's classic Nixon.
Bunch of fucking hippies running around, something like that.
Oh no, it was even more colorful. Yeah, it's funny as fuck, but it's not. I'm not going to get trapped into that soundbite. So, okay, yeah, on tape at that in the middle of a meeting.
Now,
So-
bad cookies, we're getting into DSAI more than Mort Boheme in this case. A chat GPT
Right.
AI voice of indie singing WAP by Nicki Minaj. No.
Oh, God.
That's right. Yes, thank you, Siddiq. No, wow.
That's so funny.
Yikes.
Oh man. So
we did do better
okay,
to
so I
censor
got
you
the
know.
speaker queued up here. I gotta close out chat for a minute so I don't confuse my speaker. I played I did American Tradition as a spoken word piece not too long ago. And it made me realize that I never got to share the beat that almost was with this song. In American Tradition, near the end of the track, there's a moment where the drums do this little double bass like thing, and it's just one cool little hiccup. I put that in there for Jesse because originally that was the beat of the song. It every half measure did this little double bass triplet, and I loved it, but it was a little too herky jerky and just unsettling, ungroovable, that I was like, I realized if I straighten this out and let this beat be a little bit more relaxed, it'll be a much more a much more a much more like listenable song. And I was worried that the drums were gonna fuck people up. So normally well, you know what the normal drums do, but I will go ahead and play a moment of it with the regular drums. See.
What's Anna saying over there?
Oh, can you get off the keys, please, dude? Really? Jesus Christ.
We're being invaded by a cat.
So that's normal drums just doing their thing. The moment in question of the beat, let me cut this and bring this in, is this. Here. So originally, the whole song had that, in which case it would have been.
Yeah.
But there was just a couple moments where it kind of rolled over the rhyme in a weird place, and it was just like a little much. But I always wanted to at least get to share that with people, so it didn't just live in a little sad audio file on my phone and never anywhere else, never see the light of day in any capacity.
Anna says nah also, so you know.
Sometimes you like it, but you're like, this isn't like, you feel it. You're just like, sorry. But I promised it, like, one day I'll let you be on the show. So we did. You're laying like half on the laptop. It's kind of inconvenient. No, but your feet this cat's feet are fucking massive. I can't even begin to tell you.
Furry butt cam apparently we got for a second, so I said this is only kitties.
Hey, we're live right now. We're fucking live right now. The camera is shaking because he's just like violently rubbing.
Yes, that is.
Man.
Well, that's what Well, we know what Colin always says.
He's like, would you like to see the unattractive drop ceiling, perhaps?
Colin says cats are dicks, so that's his
one of the drop
line.
Ceiling panels you might notice is bent from where he fell through the ceiling because he climbed up into the wall.
Nice. I love it. Oh, there he is. I was waiting for it. Wait, no, that's not it. There it is. Cats are dicks. That's it, Care Bear. He heard his name and he came running to type cats are dicks. Love it. Ian Reefer planning for tomorrow night's INN News. Check that out, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, is their 100th show. 100 episodes.
Damn.
Yeah. And they got Rob Dernan coming,
We're
too.
only at 38. We got to catch up.
Yeah, we're at 38. How Do We Miss That's at 104. And Reef's done both of those shows. He's done almost all 104 of How Do We Miss That, but he's definitely done all 100 of Ina News. So, damn. He's produced a couple other shows, too, on top of it. I think we're up to like 75 something or 80 with Tara already. And she's got another one on Friday coming up. So we're going to have that. I don't know what's going to happen Thursday. I don't know if Big Mad Crab is in chat, but there's talk of a politically homeless. Maybe he's looking for a hey, if you want to co-host Politically Homeless with Big Mad Crab, reach out. I wanted to make Jesse laugh and spit out his thing though, but yes. But yes, Crab is looking for a co-host for Politically Homeless Thursday nights. And Friday, Angel in the afternoon. I think he's going to do some Yankees, some spring training talk. He's going to have Karen and Alex Knight on. Saturday, he's going to do the wrestling show. Sunday, like, we got loaded calendar again. We're back. Like, oh, I know that guitar.
You don't actually. I'm trying to figure.
Sounds like Red Pill a little bit. I think I like it better being blind.
Oh, because that'd be see what
It's close.
I'm usually capoed for Red Pill, so I couldn't tell you what that would be like. That'd be it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't think I could get away with Red Pill today. So this is gonna be hard enough because I haven't played it in forever. And I'm a little tender tonight. This is one that needs to go on something because it's not. I don't think it's anywhere right now other than might be floating around on Twitter. But it'd be an old post. This will be on the whatever compilation I end up putting together of songs that haven't ended up on other stuff like Airplane Mode and stuff like that. This didn't make it onto inauguration gift in time, but this was just kind of in that time period, and definitely one of my favorite songs of mine. So I need to do something with it and get it on a record. So
Airplane Mode Boeing. Oh goodness gracious cookies.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon. And of course, as always, we've got Anna asking for Militia Intent because she does every day. That's her favorite.
Yeah, I think we can get away with some Militia Intent tonight. In the meantime, it's deep cuts time. This song first time I ever got to actually hear the finished mix on this song from doing it the night before was on a lunch break in my friend Hundy's car, who I just lost. So Hundy, this is for you. I love you, bud. This is called Yes You.
Love, I only wanna help you, so I won't lie to protect you. All those same people that defend you would beat you bloody if your rent's due. Yes, you. Love, I only wanna help you, so I won't lie to protect you. Now all those same people that defend you would beat you bloody if your rent's due. Yes, you. 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 No, I guess you didn't hear. Maybe all our signs weren't clear. Maybe someone went to tell you and got disappeared. So keep your voice down, cause our phones have ears. And I'll act surprised when you spout what I told you for years. Upstream against a steady flow of smears. For being just another fringe theorist. But those conspiracies will hit a little closer to your home after Cuomo shields the home where you housed mommy dearest. Shit, negligence is par for their care, and they're not gonna be there for their court appearance. See, they've been granted carte blanche and a full clearance, immunity from scrutiny and legal repercussions when they knowingly infect your parents. And knowing what I know now, I can't say it's fair, but I can say it's pretty damn American. Nah, I guess you didn't hear. Love, I only wanna help you, so I won't lie to protect you. But all those same people that defend you would beat you bloody if your rent's due, yes you. Love, I only wanna help you, so I won't lie to protect you. But all those same people that defend you would beat you bloody if your rent's due, yes you. Yes you. Yes you. Yes you. Yes you. Could find yourself the target of the ruling class, the oligarchs, the CEOs, plutocrats. Yes, you could be that dude beneath the overpass, face down, sucking on a canister of chlorine gas, while seated on your back is a faceless white fascist in a mask, taking orders cause he's just a clueless ass, can't think for himself and he relishes the task. We groom young men to be that, an army of kids who were told not to cry by emotionally walled off dads. You will find no better candidate to bludgeon with abandonment and gas. Press, medics, women, children, old veterans, or anyone that threatens your establishment. Then their bloodlust wears off, the Kevlar tears off. They look at their reflection and are shifted to imbalances. Christ, we do a damn good job of tuning men to war's ravages. But once we finally break them, we don't have a plan to save them. They just end up in a tent camp living with the rest of your collateral damages. They don't get the glory or the honor of our wasted sons and daughters lining Arlington like rows of fucking cabbages. This is how you normalize sacrifice. This is how you weaponize a nationalist. This is how you teach a man to break his spine just to fix your bottom line or polish up your averages. But sugar, all the stones in Arlington are seeds that were sown by the capitalists. Love, I only wanna help you, so I won't lie to protect you. All those same people that defend you would beat you bloody if your rent's due, yes you. And that's yes you. Oh, connection? Is there connection going, or are you still with me?
No, it's not a connection thing. There's something wrong with my broadcasting software.
Feds. Feds.
No, this happened the other night to me too. Hold on. Now I just need to.
The feds.
Yeah, it was probably the feds then too. But if I flip this now, what happens if I take the thing out of studio mode and with the split screen thing, it will go black, but it will stay up like this. So sorry about that, everyone, but we're back, and I know how to fix this. Now, the only other way to fix it is to close it down, but I'm not.
I'm gonna community notes the post about this and be like, Indy said it was his connection, but it's absolutely the feds.
It's the feds. Yeah, we know it's the feds.
Sources have confirmed this was feds.
No, but if I don't know what's going on with I'd probably have to download an update or some kind of thing. I don't know. Reef had me download something that broke something. Thanks, Reef. See, this is what happens. So Anna,
sabotage. Reef's a fed. Wait a second. Hang on. This goes straight to the top. Are you serious? Reef, really? My goodness.
See,
the dark horse.
Now this, sir, is how rumors get started.
Oh,
what are we doing, sir?
Pouring off some of my moonshine.
Okay, so this is the right one.
It's
here.
just water. I'm drinking.
And Anna
I
over
gave up a
there,
lot of stuff recently. So
Anna over there on the fins, she's saying militia intent fuckers, of course. And then I listened to the political podcast and heard abundance of scarcity, and I cried, not gonna lie. And then she says, you all should know that you keep me sane as I possibly can be, and that's, you do the same for us. And then as far as yes, you, holy cow, I don't even have words for that. And oh yeah, that's great.
That's been a hot second, man.
And cookies. Now you just gave Cookies clip material for Reefs of Fed, so that's awesome. Thanks. He's gonna thank you for that.
We have fun here.
We certainly do. Reefs of Fed, so that's good. You can say you can clip it again. All right. So that was yes, you.
All right. Let me see. Yeah, do we wanna do
Whatever you want.
fucking Return of the Cursed Medallion?
Sure, we can do
If we're doing cult vibes, I feel like it, even though we have done that quite a few times on the show.
I think we've done
you know
it
what
twice.
I was thinking of?
You did it on Politically Homeless once, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what I was thinking of doing? I don't know if chat is down, but I was just thinking about it. It's one of those pieces I haven't done in forever, and I've only done a couple of times. And it's one of those, like, I don't remember half of what's in it. So it's fun to do periodically because all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of shit like, oh, that came true, or that's about to happen. Some of those moments. I am talking, of course, about the co-opt. It's been a hot second since I did that. And
anybody got to go pee? The co-opt. 17
yeah,
minutes.
I was about to say, do you need a snack? You need a snack, a beverage.
It's our Inagata DeVita.
It really is. It is my close to the edge.
It is. You're 2112.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So let's do that.
All right.
Let's
all right.
get your snacks.
Let me do the reading lyrics.
This was one of those pieces when I was writing this, like I couldn't stop and read up to where I was very often because it just took too long. So when I got done, I like read through the piece. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's cool. Like I got in a zone, and the challenge was like, I have to cut myself off a lot when I'm writing. Be like, okay, this piece is getting long enough. Time to find an exit line. And I've always wondered, like, what happens if I just don't look for that until there's one that I can't give up on, that has to be the end. So I did. I spent a couple days just kind of adding on and going. And then by the time I finally got to an end, I'm like, oh no, this is 17 minutes. Like this is the only album of mine on Spotify because of the length of this song. It classifies this album as an audiobook because the first track is 17 minutes. So it assumes that it must be a chapter of something. Mm-hmm. So it's the only one that's an audiobook. Everything else says album, or EP, but no, this one, it's an audiobook.
It's really funny that you say that, because in the last week, I created a new YouTube channel for my kids, and I started uploading videos, and they're doing chapter reads. And that's pretty much how it's going, is awesome. Each chapter, and it's anywhere from 7 to, one of them did a 30-minute chapter. One of them actually read Cat in the Hat the other day, and that was sweet.
That's awesome.
And they take pictures. They find all kinds of Dr. Seuss stuff, and then they bring it home. They're like, show Jesse. They ask for all the time. Cool. They always ask for reads, and every time I tell them I'm doing a Jesse show, they're like, isn't it another Dr. Seuss read? Like, that's all they want. They want a Jesse Jett Dr. Seuss show, like all week, like awesome. Every day and every other week. I need
to get my hands on the Lorax, and then we can do another Seuss night. That's long overdue.
Jesse reads Seuss. Yeah, we are overdue for that.
Yeah, and speaking of long tracks, I had a big eureka moment I haven't gotten to share with you. But after we go live, I have to tell you, I basically had a big breakthrough about what I'm going to do for the next album. And I can't tell you how excited I am about this idea, conceptually start to finish. I'm just over the moon about it. but I'm going to definitely do 2 different versions of this next album, one that will have tracks and one that will be 1 track for the full thing, because it's going to be kind of meant to be experienced in one good chunk. So I don't want to make everyone have to listen to the whole record in one track, but I want to have it be an option because that's how I'm gonna intend it for sure. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it under wraps until it's like I want to be able to put this out finished and be like, here's the new thing, and see what people think. But I have to tell you about the idea because it's too exciting to keep to myself. So yeah, this will probably take us about to the end. I might have to do Militia Intent after this, but I'm in need of icing my knee and getting it up and elevated. But
this thing's starting to swell, I love and you guys. Turn colors, and so
well, that's what's interesting is it didn't, but the doctor was like, I want to see you back tomorrow because this should be swelling. And so I think it might be by then. He was like, I just want to see it after a day to see like exactly how bad off it is. Because he was like, you might want something for it tomorrow if it's worse. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. I literally, the paperwork said I could return to work as normal, but then it said no lifting, no twisting, no bending, no squatting, no stairs. I'm like, my job was like, tell you what, how about you take tomorrow paid and just rest it? Because we don't feel comfortable with you working with like no restriction, but some serious restrictions. Like just don't come in tomorrow. So it actually worked out because I could use a day tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really, as always, very, very grateful for you guys for coming to hang out tonight because I needed this as I do every time. And especially this piece, it feels right. So yeah, without further ado, get comfy, get your snacks. This is the co-opt.
All right, hold on. Let me flip this so we have lyrics.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. We're good.
Top off the water again.
You're good there.
The beverage menu is seriously trimmed down. I gave up, what didn't I give up? No soda, no coffee, no booze, no energy drinks, no fast food, no processed food.
Is this Lent or something, or is this just like a life change?
No, this is just for life change as of about 12 days ago. So, yeah, already lost some weight. Coffee stains are disappearing from my teeth. I'm normally dazzling. Today I'm a little less dazzly, but yeah, on the whole, it's been really good. So, yeah. Anyways, so exciting news. Are you ready with lyrics? You ready to get?
We're all set up.
Are you ready to scroll? Are you ready to scroll for? I'm going to scroll for
17 minutes. Yes, I am. I am ready to.
I hold it against you at not in the least bit. If you have to tap out, if you got to piss, if you need to scratch your nose, like do whatever you got to do, bro. I'm not going to get mad at you.
I'm ready to do the thing. We need to get a fucking karaoke program that'll follow your voice automatically and do this, a captioning thing.
Oh, I would love that.
Facebook, okay. I think automatically captions it, but as you're going, but that's all right.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to take off this sweater real quick.
I'm happy to scroll and
it's getting hot.
Man the thing. Oh, we're getting sassy Jesse. Here we go.
Okay. So fun fact about the flesh vessel. Today at work, I opened a cabinet next to my desk and it pushed vessel off. The flesh vessel, when it became airborne, didn't turn in the least. It fell straight down like a fucking piston. Just like, it put a little chip in the concrete.
Holy shit.
And it just dented up part of the bottom of the metal into this really sharp little edge now. Like, this thing is like a Buick. I swear to God, this cup is indestructible.
You're never going to be able to kill it. Nope. It will kill other things.
So funny.
It is a murderer cup.
Fun fact. This is just the sense of humor I bring to the job site. Several years ago, we had the machine that puts labels on our beer bottles. it would overflow with glue, and sometimes you just have a big gluey shitty mess. Well, we'd have a few like scrapers to kind of scrape off the dry glue at the end of the day. One of them was metal, and our new manager was like, hey, I don't want metal scrapers used. Use the plastic ones. Well, plastic ones were dog shit. So we had the one good metal one, and that kept getting used. Well, one day he went and took it, and he threw it in the dumpster. And somebody went and fished it out of the dumpster and kept using it. And one day he sees it, and he loses his shit. He was like, how many times am I going to throw this fucking thing away? Snatches it up, and he goes out and chucks it into the dumpster. And then he goes on lunch. So I go get it out of the dumpster, and I put it on his desk, and I got the label maker and made a label that said, you can't kill me, Jeremy. And I put it right underneath it on his desk. He came back in. I hear just this, God fucking damn it. And then he comes out with the scraper. He's like, this had to be you, right? No one else would take the time to do a note, like a
label.
Ransom note for it.
And a label, right? Like with a label maker to do it all organized. I love it.
The label maker, man. That's my dream. Our printer quit working, so I made a label that said the device formerly known as Prince.
Dad jokes.
Homeschooled kid with a label maker, man. You better watch out.
Dad jokes for days. You know, he was making them before he was one. All right.
So true.
All right, let's go here.
Okay. Let's do this. Yeah. From the top, the co-opt. If they can put a face to the movement, they can blacken both its eyes. If they can hold its hand when the photo's planned, they can frame it how they like. If they fashion us an idol, then the limelight floods our sight, and they can pose beside the movement with a cardboard picket line. In a crowd of paper labor dolls with copy-pasted signs on a safely guarded soundstage of Bezos's design. Where the fortunes of 500 CEOs have been divined, there now rise words that curse the movement's limbs for all of time. That for all its strength of labor, it will walk with withered step, and will wave a rusting saber as it heaves a labored breath, as it coughs through all the cancers born of Bezos's request, who'd prefer your starving neighbors locked in civil war for crumbs he left. But soon your cache of crumbs will mark your slums for violent theft. From those who act directly on behalf of those with insufficient limb to lift their hoarder's heft. Landlords order mortars sworn to render borders torsos cleft. Now tune that down a quarter step. Ego, soul, and organ death. Any month that ends in embers, rot through every crop has crept. Nothing fit to eat, at least there's lots of JP Morgan reps. I remember when we lived on empty promises through every winter. Now the grapes of wrath are plump, and they are harvested directly out of Martha's vineyard, where the soil's awfully rich and all the fertilizers even richer. My palette's not chromatically balanced. It's a cavalcade of crimson, and it paints a pulsing picture. It is gritty, it is ugly, it is viscerally stunning, and it ain't fit for consumption like the water in your cistern. Go and ring your congressman and tell that pig it's his turn. Poverty awaits, and there's a $7 wage for him to sit and watch his mansion full of shit burn. Although he won't be paid directly, he will soon receive an email that's supposed to have a link, but when it finally shows, it's empty. So he'll have to call support for confirmation that it's sent right, and then he'll get a shortcut to a poorly managed website where he'll submit a claim that must be notarized in person, all to finally be denied because he made too much the prior year to qualify for reimbursement. And now he knows the bitter taste of just a single day that all our retail workers face. He knows the kind of day our teachers have, the kind of day the janitors and lab technicians share with all the nursing staff. The kind of daily struggle that's a constant state of fear for all the working class, the white noise in their heads that's born of stress and turned to bursting glass. The constant thought the other shoe's about to drop, the size of half a city block that wouldn't stop for you. You're just a worm to smash. You're just another massacre they'll call a clash. You're just a frozen passenger before the crash. You're just another Afghan holding frozen cash, assets all immobilized by Joseph Biden, king of ice, the self-professed iconoclast. Hosting dinner parties for his parasitic donors with some Donner Party snacks.
Nothing short of hearty, if you've heart enough or lack thereof to call it that. But who'd have thought the meaning of the average person's life was to work and sweat and die to keep the Blackstone Holdings wallet fat? Or even worse, that some are turned to chum to serve as power bars for bureaucrats, psychopomp and circumstance. Every time you sign your rights away, you'll earn rewards, and at 100,000 points, you can redeem them for your purpose back. And it's none the worse for wear, except a heavy coat of surface cracks. Courtesy of those who chose the path that dips its toes into the Jeffrey Epstein virgin bath. Courtesy of Congress and the Persian Gulf expansion pack. All our rations held for ransom, kept alive on honeyed words that slowed down all our actions till we're helpless when the ants attack. Stripped to little ribbons and then scattered to the winds like the million little secrets the oppressor's shadow hand redacts. The million lives it stamped out in Iraq until its hands were black. Machinations sacrosanct and cancerous and flavor-packed. We've got just the black site for your whistleblower's Baker Act. Somewhere in the weeds beyond the pines. Somewhere oddly Google somehow knows just where to find. It's right there in the file they've compiled all this time with the 7 trillion thoughts that ever came across your mind. And everything that ever turned you on or made you cry, your truest, deepest fear, and all the shame you sought to hide, the thoughts you dare not speak aloud lest they be weaponized, have been loaded in the chamber and they're aimed between your eyes. Meanwhile, in your cell at home, they'll confiscate your blinds. They'll say you've waived your privacy. They'll show you where you signed. Now you don't control your thermostat. It's locked at 85. And you can't refuse the dermal graft that logs you into prime. You're just another wretch they'll come and fetch from out the vermin camp to mop some bloody floors and give a couple boots an oral shine. Oiled roots that move and writhe beneath a red-lined human tide, whose viscous sheen and toxic slime exist somewhere between a kind of Diet Coke and turpentine. The last of us are first in line. The curtain's up, we're streaming live with censored scripts and sponsored rights subject to changing overnight on Pepsi's whim or Pfizer's spite or Lockheed Martin's bomb supply or any time we need to breed some fear to get the stocks to rise. For those who need some distance wedged between their public image and the list of those who visited the global child concubine. A client list that shall remain nameless. A client list at least a dozen pages of honey-potted politicians ripened for the knife twist. Once you're dead, it's safe to say you don't present a flight risk. Once your lips are sealed for good, there's zero chance you might slip and spill the beans about your recent string of overnight trips. Dropped from heights you can't achieve without a little nitrous. Down beneath the roots of truth, tenuous and fibrous. The currency of youth would seem a tier above the Midas. Christ, I gagged a little as I wrote the currency of youth. And I've yet to find the music that hath charm enough to soothe. My eyes are open wide, and I'm at terms with what I view until I shut my eyes at night and see it too. Phantom limbs of reminiscence, twinging like a sickened witness, twisted in the spinal cringe, the traumatized revisit every minute, every statement picked to shreds before it's finished, all their dignity diminished, all their liberties relinquished, all your furnaces extinguished, all your means of warmth are flickering off into the distance, all the ways you know to make a living growing listless. All your savings spilled to fill a chalice meant for Pfizer, and they'll drink its vibrant ichor like they'll drown a round of blood from out the last Sumatran tiger. Light a nice cigar for every man they left to die awaiting trial up in Rikers. Do a line of blow for every drug offender turned to lifer. Do another line for every hybrid judge and agent of the instrumental prison profit system that they hired. They'll wear your movement like a mech they get to pilot, yelling hot labor summer through a microphone inside it. So all your eyes were elsewhere when the parties both collided and they formed a wave of fascism that somehow dwarfed their sum provided. A danger greater than its parts combined. A danger made the greater when the honest source is buried, but the narrative is wearing platinum labels saying trusted source that cover up its warning signs. If you'd have told me all of this at 40 Sunday mornings, I would like to think I'd meet it without disbelief, but really might have struggled just to reckon with it, grappled just to ratify, and watched a little bit to glimpse the bigot that we've gratified. I just hit 1,400 words, and kid, I'm barely satisfied. I've hardly started carving bars from off this chunk of malachite I found and claimed and vandalized. The rest is better left to settle one-on-one, just Gates and I. I'll desecrate his tesseract, I'll deconstruct his great design, and build upon the very spot on which it stood to touch the skies, a statue in his image, wrapped in tapestry of tannerite, so Bill would get to see himself immortalized, then blown to bits in record time. Blown to scraps of bronze that he can touch and hold and recognize. Face to face and frozen side by side, immobile Gemini. This must be that self-reflection people had suggested that instinctively had always felt to you like being patronized. Because if we talk, I'm talking down. If I speak, it's at my feet like you were 6 beneath the ground. I'll address you where you ought to be and not where you are now. My gaze won't meet your eyes, much less your crown. My praise is not to bathe in, it's to drown. I bet you didn't know that you could overload an ego to the point of blacking out. And that's what it's about. If you can kill a man with kindness, you can smother him with clout. Reverse his engineering at the hands of hungry crowds. He who bought up all the farmland and is casing now the clouds. Police will be the farm hands paid to put us out to pastures that are shades of gray and brown. And I can hear those bastards fast approaching. Screaming fills the town. An occupying army of abuser fascist clowns and some lachrymose millennials intent to vote them out. I laugh for those and pity those who vote with zero doubt, whose destinies as living ghosts they're all embracing bowed. The cops are inching closer and they snuff out every sound. And all I had to do was shut my mouth. I'll let you guess the tragic end result of Jesse Jett, who tried his best, but ultimately failed attempts to hold his tongue. Who couldn't find the will existing anywhere within him to begin to douse the fire rising up inside his lungs. Born of watching ignorant and educated shits press impressionable lips to boots that just inside a month or two will kick them from the bottom rung. Home is anywhere you lay your head once the oppressors hung. Soon we'll cleanse our memories of the songs that the oppressors sung. And one by one, the words will turn to dirt that cannot hurt you, cannot infiltrate your movement, can't impress upon your sons, can't convince your daughters they've no power of their own, no agency beyond the task of keeping up a home. When the last of all the lobbyists is laid beneath the loam, there will be no profit sown in fields of bone. We will only reap the sleep and stolen wages that we're owed and commence the great unpaving of your quarter-mile driveways, terraforming tarmacs and industrial roads. Paranormal contracts dissipate to mist and disappear amidst the gloam. Disconnect the phone. Fist connects to stone. Somewhere in the thicket hums to life the buzz of crickets into one combining drone. But narrow down your vision, and you'll see that every cricket is in fact a tiny drone, coming to inform you that you must proceed directly to your designated zone, or you'll be tased until you're prone, till you're pissing blood and whispering to no one in particular, just all of the particulates that occupy the air. The only occupants you share this giant coffin with, at least you win the arguments, because they're too busy hogging all your oxygen to care. Hell, you're hardly cognizant. There's really nothing there. There's nothing close to conscious in your stare. Your eyes look like you're off in old Oahu, where you don't have any problems, where you haven't given thought to all the aquifers below you, full of fuel enough to launch you back to when you eyed Hawaii and Hawaiians told you not to. A little like the Mayans, humankind will leave a lot to deconstruct from what we kept behind to represent our legacy. Less the Stoic temples, less the gods resembled, less the carven lions standing watch above a vine-entangled mezzanine. More the arid soil, more the sea of oil, more the mark we leave behind is best exemplified by finding out Lake Mead is slightly caffeinated methamphetamine. Warped and shifted, torn and twisted, history revisited, the storm that buried Kennedy and swept the streets of Medellin. stirs the strongest synchronized synthetic sleeper cell emotion center mound at Wrigley Field and harnesses the energy. We call that conditioning. They call it serenity. Those who crave obedience will swear they aren't your enemy, but live to see us orchestrated, moving like a centipede. Full consent, submissive cadence, terms accepted, didn't peak. Needs neglected, couldn't speak. Speech affected, only leaded fruit to eat, only fracking gruel to drink. But 2 for 1 on 40 weight at ExxonMobil Smoothie King. See, I tried to do the movie thing. I walked away and flicked the match, but I never heard the boom to match just boomer waves of Schumercrats. But humor's futile self-defense against such brutal facts that some will never hear the words before they see the acts, who have never heard protect and serve and checked behind their backs, and who trust in politicians kept alive on purely Duracells and Duramax. A little dash of ritual, a jug of pharma cocktail, a little splash of Burning Man in nursing class. So let this be the call that stirs the hearts of all the merging class, that churns through the recession's dirt to rise reborn in Wall Street's ash. We must shake off the pedagogues and Pentecost the plutocrats. And there is no salvation without doing that. Now, in the name of clarity, the Pentecost that I invoke is just the part with flaming tongues and not the hope of Holy Host. It's mostly for the imagery of all these bloated, greedy folks who break our backs and snake our taxes, treated like a weenie roast. And I'd take any bet that if we let our captors cook, you wouldn't see a bunch of struggling single parents show with worried looks like, someone help, we needed those. If we don't have the plutocrats, then who will raise the interest on our student loans? If we don't have the plutocrats, then who will cut the staff to pay for bonuses for CEOs of senior homes? Without our noble plutocrats, who would gut the budgets for anything providing education to the public? Who would neuter innovation that could benefit the nation because it wouldn't turn a profit, so it wasn't worth discussing? Without our precious plutocrats, then who'll ensure that poverty took hold of our enlightenment and never let us see the sun or ever smell that rain was coming? No one's gonna stop. And if they did, they'd say the warmth is nice or God, the flames are stunning. Because who would miss or pity all those monuments to nothing? Those who've witnessed cities turn to husks, the wealthy drained with but a touch to pave the way for a development that's easy money, that never seems to trickle down to someone hungry or anyone beyond their inner circle jerk of golfing buddies. And I'm not here for slinging mud. It's what you do. It's what you love. You're fucking pigs. I do not give a shit if you're a little muddy. I need to see you destitute and see you struggling. Desperate just to feed yourselves a scrap of something. Desperate to the point you take a bite of crow and know a taste that's truly humbling. We only can begin to tear the old foundation down once we confess that, yes, it's crumbling. And we all know it's crumbling. We can see collapse as plain as day on every corner, neath a veil of thin decorum, like a blueprint overlaid made by the Economic Forum. The plans they've drawn and quartered, the graves they're counting early, and the million more back-ordered. I would rather take a stand than live and die by their accordance. I would rather see the forest once than corpses formed of brick and mortar. And if the band you're in starts playing censored tunes, then I'll see you on the dark side of the border. And that's the co-opt.
Take a drink. Take a drink.
Oh, God. Whew.
Pentecost. And the Pentecost I speak of. All right, now let's start breaking it down, and we'll be here for about another hour.
You're right, another 45 minutes.
Well, Due Dissidents and RBN just wrapped, so everybody's popping in now. Well, no, actually, everyone who was already here was already here, and we love you for that.
Yeah, we still got a big chunk. Let's you know what? Anna Mare's still around.
Anna Mare's is still around. All
right,
she's
been fuck up a little Militia Intent.
She's been going crazy over there. Okay. She's laughing at Schumercrats. All right, let's.
Ooh, that's out of tune.
Woo. All right, so we got Wesley here. JJ, welcome, JJ. Is that my friend JJ from over at Substack? I'm not sure if that's Jessica, but thank you, JJ, for being here. This is a lot of fun. Mic drop, boom. Cool.
All right. Yeah, this is for animators. This is Militia Intent. After her contribution to the laptop fund, officially anytime you're here and you want Militia Intent, you get Militia Intent. I don't care if I just played it and you hop in chat, I'm playing it again.
Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. No, why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? God, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. See, I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me. I will pick my targets and assassinate them lyrically. I will bring them out into the town square, hook them to the pillory, and leave them there. And Hillary, I'll see you there. Hillary, I'll see you there.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 100,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. So why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
Welcome to the fantasy of rhetoric.
Welcome to the last of the free speech while we can get it. And I promise you can get it. All you corporate Democrats and second wave Confederates, GOP illusionists and neo-Nazi bureaucrats. And Stephen fucking Miller, I will see you in the aftermath. Oh, when all the laws are dust and it's just moral justice after that. And I would hunt you through the wasteland if it comes to that. So I could rub you in the dirt like a cheap human Brillo pad. I could sleep fine when our beds are burning, Stephen, but I'll turn around and run into the blaze to get my pillow back. 'Cause as long as I can lay my head down, I can live with that. I can deal with a little ash. I could feel like a little of the old me burn with the bad and the rest of my past. The old world where we all lived and we can't get back. The old world where you didn't give and you'd still get back. Where you could rake in 12 billion and give none back. Well, those days are behind us. The virus will kill all of that. Your wealth is behind us and kindness is meant for the past. Our leaders would bind us and starve us and call it a fast. A sacrament meant for their God who they garnish in cash. They feed it the poor by the hundreds, that's all that it asks. Its hunger is legion and people in need are all it will have. Our only chance is to starve it and watch as it turns on them. giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. Can keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands.
That's Militia Intent.
See, now that one, that could be a karaoke night. I could just about do that whole one, and
I would love that. I would die. I would absolutely die.
I was singing along, and I've got about 3/4 of the lyrics, and if I had them up in front of me, and I'm guessing you do, because there's no way you could remember every word.
I do. Admittedly, there are only a few pieces that, like, if I had to, like, I've surprised myself when I try to do a piece from memory, but it just feels so much more comfortable to be able to have it, because my eyes dart around so much between the cats coming in and out of the room. I shouldn't, but I like to look at chat while I'm playing, which derails me all the time, but I do it anyway. So when that happens in that split second, I'm like, oh shit, I'm losing. Where am I at? Okay, and we're back. So yeah, I know there are some people like Aesop Rock. When I watched him live, I mean, it's not like he has lyrics up, and it's just like a fucking ridiculous amount. Like, there's some stuff like Powerless I know by heart. I could probably do stuff like Better the Censored, stuff I've read a lot. Conviction, those are probably ingrained. I don't know how I would ever do something like the Co-opt. It's like 17 minutes. I don't think I have enough brain cells left for that. I don't know.
So Go Starts over on Rumble, rumble.com/C/Indie News Network. We're over there live as well. But yeah, that was for you, Anna.
One more.
Laura Pazza says yes.
Nice full chat.
Yes, we sure do. We got almost 50 people here live, and then when you add in Rockfin, Rumble, everybody, we got more than 50. We love you for that. Thank you. You see that little QR code down there if you came in late. We are actually trying to raise some money to get a new PC for Jesse. Can you imagine the kind of music this guy can make if he had an even better machine than he's got right now? Like, God, let's hook him up. Let's see what we can do. And Anna kicked that off. We've got a couple of people that donated tonight already. Really appreciate that. Let me drop that real quick. If I do ! Donate, check this out. That should drop the Ko-fi link in there somewhere, somehow. I don't know if it did, but nice. All right. Yep, there it goes. So that's our Ko-fi link, and that'll go to the Jesse New PC Fund.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do another song.
Let's.
La, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 Last stand, and I came to deliver. Been called a Clinton operative, a Russian, and a grifter by libs awash in student debt and proud to be an intern, sucking up to pigs who'll get a tax cut in the midterms. You cut the ties but never heal the wrist burns. Capitalist shackles wrap and penetrate like ringworms around the necks of those whose deaths will not affect the king's purse or the coffers of the company the king serves. Those who manufacture mandated tinctures, their safety data hanging from a fixture, half a mile skyward, dangling from the rafters. My grift is sobbing till I'm cackling with laughter. Guess I would have made a decent actor. I'd be great at crying on command until they cut plus 40 minutes after. When the director waves a hand, it ain't a rap, it's now a legal matter. Sugar, my grift is weeping on a mic until I'm hacking up airstrike verses till it's bombs away and batter up. Swinging on these bigots, they keep killing us to fatten up. Kill the switch, eat the rich, I think they're finally fat enough. Grab your knife and fork, the world is yours, just say you've had enough. And if you're comfy, you should go ahead and laugh it up. Now tell me how the most important vote I'll ever cast is like the choosing of a bus, in that it might not take you anywhere you want, but no one can deny the fact the bus is now no longer where it was, and that's the kind of progress we should celebrate and trust. Spoken like a kid that never took a bus. Spoken like a piece of shit that used some cash to mask their stink and truly thinks they're one of us. Spoken like a terminally unserious person who equates our cries for rights to mixed up orders from a server and paints a privileged picture of what they would label urgent if the worst thing they experienced in life has been the time the waiter accidentally brought a tray of goldflake scallop when you clearly ordered goldflake urchin. And now you're storming out the restaurant and hopping in a Tesla. You got 80 pounds of Tony Fauci merchant. Rewind, 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. It's best to place your bets on weaponizing the identity of every limp progressive claiming grassroots integrity. Policy's a slippery slope for all of its complexity, so flex your brave resistance with this Ilhan Omar NFT. It's numbered 1 of 723. And each depicts her valiantly championing a bill before she lays it at a donor's feet. And she can throw her hands up in the air with AOC and say, if only Nina Turner could have voted present too, that's why we need another seat. We need some more progressives we elect to only tweet, who live to serve humana, and their label of elective slapped on every patient's gravest needs. While every station plays the theme that medical professionals agree on the effectiveness and safety of injections authorized for this emergency. And in purely unrelated news, the profits of the ones who manufacture vaccines just increased by nearly 36 billion with a fucking B. Sometimes it feels like we're the only ones that see. Sometimes it feels like all of us are lost at sea. And every time we think we see an island on the tip of the horizon, it turns out to be another measure making sure we're kept within the watchful eye of murderous authority. So no, I guess my grift is crying for the future they denied us, where the people who would buy us are a mockable minority. And we are more than genomes under warranty. And we are more than serfs in constant quarantine. If I had a single breath left, I'd let the chorus scream that I denounce our leaders, claiming none for all and more from me. None for all and more from me. None for all and more from me. Rewind, 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind, 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. And that's the grift.
That's one I wish I could do, but there's just no way I could karaoke that. I mean, there's little bits and lines, you know, have this Ilhan Omar NFT, numbered 1 of 723. See, like, I remember that part. Like, there's little, even with the lyrics, I'm just like, dude, I can't even follow. Ridiculous.
I know I say it all the time. I almost called that song Ilhan Omar NFT. The only reason I didn't, because it's like syllable for syllable matched Lockheed Martin OnlyFans too much. And I didn't want to have those two. I didn't want to get in too close of a I don't know, a trap there. All right, one more, and I swear we're done.
That's so fire. I love that piece.
Out. We gotta give him the single.
Yeah, like I'm always looking like in my pre-show music for How Do We Miss That? I always have to pick 3-4 songs, and it just somehow the Grift, even though it's 6.5 minutes, it somehow always makes it in there. Big. Oh, I know what's coming up now. Good. Maybe somebody tag a Jimmy Dore here, and if I think we're getting just a better days.
Wait, cookies. Have you never heard Lockheed Martin OnlyFans?
Oh, Lockheed Martin OnlyFans is great. That's the better days. Yeah, that's what I heard too, Cynic.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
We pick it up fast.
Okay.
Yes, that's our buddy over on Substack. She's been a great fan and a great supporter of us over there over on Substack Notes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I need to set this one up. We know this one. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay, no, wait, sorry, we're doing two more. Cookies has never heard Lockheed Martin OnlyFans. So we're gonna pull that one out real quick. I gotta.
Ooh.
All right, let's hop over to God, what was that on? Inauguration Gift? Yeah, that closed out Inauguration Gift. Speaking of rituals, that's a good one. So the end of this track, I wanted it to feel like some sort of ritual. So I overlaid my voice a few different times, and it starts off with like one chant, then it goes to a second, and then all of a sudden there's like 4 different voices all doing this piece.
I like you better with your eyes closed.
No, it's you know something, sir? I think I like you better with my glasses off.
That's what it was. I knew it was one of those. Doesn't sound right.
Which is
those
from
words.
the lesser known Grinch Halloween special. This kid obviously has dropped his glasses, and he speaks to the Grinch for a moment, and then he puts them on, and he gets a good look at him. Oh, I think I like you better with my glasses off. Which seemed like such a great way to describe how liberals were able to make peace with Joe Biden at the time of me writing this album, seeing it actually come to fruition, and people being like, this is definitely our best. This is our champion. This is the guy who's gonna stop the greatest threat democracy has ever known. So yeah, that gave me this. This is Lockheed Martin OnlyFans. I guess I was born with the curse of foresight, 'cause I knew Joe was only gonna represent the war side. That said, I just came to fight. You can keep the ore flight. Save the surprise and the gasp when the shadow the fascists have cast is on your doorstep in the glow of your porch light. Then save the surprise when the grid goes down and we go underground to lick wounds in the gloom of a torchlight. While up in the sky, a blimp glides by with a sign like New Year's 2022. Brought to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. While the centrists observe from a comfortable courtside, right in the thick of the action behind a partition. We're in a morbid position, a plague of evictions, born a comorbid condition of the cancer of wealth. I fantasize that I cancel myself. Hands on your head, throw your best laid plans in the well. There are no more answers. Questions go back on the shelf. Now all Joe's donors, a quick show of hands. How many of you sub to the Lockheed Martin OnlyFans? How many are loyalist patrons for the Raytheon Patreon? Occupy Iraq and send 1 million off into the great beyond.
Cool yourself with the safety on. True to yourself in as much as you dutifully spew out a mucus of QAnon. Now you can't convince me the Capitol wasn't surrendered with every intention of digging us deeper down into the treacherous webbing of censorship, ebbing your speech and dissension so you can't hold Biden accountable, not in his mentions and not in the streets. Just know to the end that Joe will defend the elite. That Joe won't embarrass McConnell, but Joe's not embarrassed if all of your children are hungry and weak. Too hungry to speak, too hungry to stand, they just lie at his feet. Joe is fresh out of empathy, fresh out of policy, but he'd love to know, what was your favorite ice cream flavor to eat? Back when you used to eat. No, I guess the road isn't rocky for people who thought we were free. They'll believe what they read, and Joe's here to lull them to sleep. Counting us down by the dozens, the culling of gullible sheep, led to the slaughter by media tyrants and government thieves. These are the leeches who stubbornly suck where there's nothing to bleed. These are the tumors that force us to crawl on our knees. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. And then one was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. And that's Lockheed Martin OnlyFans.
That's another one of the pre-show playlist favorites for sure. It's all because it's a short one too. You can squeeze an extra song in there if you throw in Lockheed Martin OnlyFans. By the way, Jesse's Instagram handle at Lockheed Martin OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's my Instagram. I forgot. Oh, that's fun.
All right.
Okay. And with that, it's time for the last song of the night. We're gonna close out with a little dust of better days. Still, I'm drinking water. Fun fact, Jesse's off of booze for good as of 10 days ago. So it used to be gin or whiskey in here, but it's just water. Okay. Here we go. Dust of better days.
SWAT team took your neighbor today. Watch them as they walked him away. You told yourself extremists come in all different shapes. Met his eyes and lowered your gaze. Is it too late for us to ever change? And we're collecting the dust of better days. They're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to be safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wake. Sheriff stabbed your daughter today. her twice in the face. Must have had good reason if he treated her that way. At least that's what they taught you to say. But is it too late for us to ever change? Once we're collecting the dust of better days. They're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to be safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wait. Fates arrived and had you detained. Said you'd made some posts they want changed. Chase you till you felt like you'd forgotten your name. Or life before they had you contained. Oh, life before they had you contained. SWAT team took your neighbor today.
And that's Dust of Better Days.
That is the Dust of Better Days. I love that song. I loved it the first time you played it. I was like, dude, that's amazing. And I think you nailed it. Like the very first time you played it on the show, it was just a perfect run on the first shot.
It was a really good take. That was a take I wished I could do the first 30 times I tried to record that song.
Right? So I haven't put this up, but not yet tonight. This is all of the people who have donated so far to INN and to Indie Left. And there are some donate links over there. We also have that QR code for the Jesse Fund. Did want to say thank you to everyone. Really, I mean, the last month has just been amazing. The outpouring of support. The last couple of months have really been great. And you know, look, we put a lot of time in, so we really appreciate all the support, and we need it. You know, we got equipment we want to buy. We got stuff we need to subscribe to, and families we want to take on vacation and do stuff also with. You know, it's a lot to do this. You know, I think I'm going to be doing 3 shows this week, and we've got a lot more in the works and in the plans for INN. We're not going anywhere. So yeah, if you like seeing independent media and you know, look, we started this because we didn't like the media we saw out there. We wanted to be the media we wanted to see. So hopefully you see some different stuff around here than you see on other channels. We don't really try to cover drama much. We try to stay away from the algorithm clicky stuff. That's great for other channels, and we appreciate that they do that, and we certainly like to talk about it, but we want to cut loose with some music. We've got Angel talking sports and wrestling, but also talking about news and current events, and we try to be a little bit of everything here, and we love that you're along for the ride and that you're supporting it. But yeah, we're gonna have more coming up. Like we said, if anyone's interested in co-hosting with Crab, I'm just giving him a hard time, but reach out, because I think he's looking for a co-host for Politically Homeless on a regular basis. If anyone really has the equipment and they can do it and they want to do it and do a show with him, I think that would be awesome. So yeah, this week we're gonna have a crazy week. We've got shows basically booked every night through Sunday, right? And what else? You know, you recorded the concerts thing, Jesse. I'm talking out loud. I don't know if that's ever going to get to air, and we should probably.
I have a date apparently end of this month. I think the 24th.
Oh, they're bringing it back.
Really post.
Okay.
I'm not going to really post, but they reached out and said my Assange concert will air on the 24th of this month. So we'll see. I know they have a lot going on. Their resources were just stretched pretty thin. I think they had some other panels and stuff, so I think they took a pause from doing the concerts, but they're getting ready to fire them back up. So
Good.
once we're actually like it's happening, I'll make some posts and we'll make sure to get the word out. But I'm gonna just kind of wait to be safe and make sure.
No, that's fair. That's fair. We've also been doing some streams with Amazon workers. I don't know if you've been able to catch that the last couple of Thursday nights. Heather messaged me and that she's got an interview lined up with somebody from the Albany area who's it's a tragedy, something about their daughter. We may just let her, continue to do some podcast stuff on here. I kind of like the way that she interviewed those couple of people. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that. Heather's great. She works over at the ALB1 facility and she really looks out for her coworkers and for the community. She's the kind of person that I think can bring in different people to support independent media, and she's in the trenches right now, and we want to hear from people that are doing the work in the trenches. So let me know if you like hearing that. INN Stack, we've been doing the weekly updates over there. That's indienewsnetwork.substack.com. We're publishing there. Like we've got a lot happening, and it's great. We love doing it, and we love publishing all this stuff and putting it out. Look, there's so much narrative. I did a search, and I know this is a little off topic, but I was trying to find an article to counter what somebody was talking about on the narrative about 10/7 and all the narratives that have been debunked, specifically about the babies one. I don't want to say what that was, but also about the Hannibal directive. And let me tell you, if you just do like a regular Google search, it all is the narrative that we know has been debunked, and they have not shown anyone that it is debunked. So a lot of the people around you are really still believing these garbage narratives that were presented and completely, demolished over the last few months by the Gray Zone, by Sam Husseini, by Electric Intifada, by Mint Press News, by all of these news outlets that have been basically swept under the rug under this propaganda arm. And again, this is why we need independent media, because independent media is the only area that's holding them accountable when it comes to Gaza, that is continuing to show the videos every day. And I saw a tweet of, Bree Joy Gray. I'm not exactly the craziest fan of hers, but I saw one. Every day I log onto this app and I see the worst thing that I've ever seen.
Seriously, without fail. And the worst people in the comments of each of those worst things. Like, just what you see the terrible thing, and then you open up the comments, you're like, oh, even worse people came to chime in and just advertise what terrible, heartless pieces of shit they are.
Yeah, it's like, well, at least thanks for revealing yourself, asshole. But
right?
Yeah, it's but
unfortunately, it's like it's different when all those mask off people think they're all in the right, and they all have a whole bunch of money behind them and marketing and media all saying they're right too. It's a very different feeling when all these people get a whole lot of support for their delusion,
And now in the UK, they're literally starting to, in Germany, they're arresting you for saying that 10/7, that Israel did 10, it was behind anything having to do with 10/7, that, all of these things that we know are to be true, that you're not even allowed to, they won't allow any, independent investigation. They won't, like, all the stuff about, that there was a Frontline PBS thing again, how they could not find one victim of sexual assault. They went through all the evidence. They went through everything. They could not find one documented case or specifically one person who came forward as a victim. It's and you've got people that are just absolutely insistent that this is what happened. Now also, we've got over on Rumble, Ghost Art is asking about the TikTok vote tomorrow. You know, it's interesting because Rumble actually stepped up and offered to buy as a conglomerate TikTok if they decide they're going to make it so that TikTok can't operate because it's quote unquote a Chinese company, even though it's full of State Department agents. And I believe you were actually on the INN News episode with Reef where you guys read that Mint Press article. I've shared that a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
About how it's really a State Department kind of Trojan horse. And Alan McLeod wrote that a year ago almost. So what else have we got to do here, my friend? Anything else you got that you want to promote? Any appearances? Lyrical, by the way, just played one of your songs.
Yeah. Oh man, Lyrical opened up the episode with "Better the Censored You Know," and that totally made my day. So, big shout out to Lyrical as always for just doing what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have any appearances coming up. So I'm just gonna be working on new music, kind of storyboarding the next record and starting to write a few pieces for it as well. So
Jess, the hyperfixated. So what's going on with the Canadians and Haitian cannibals? So this is apparently another narrative that is being pushed so that they can justify going in and again taking military action in Haiti. We reported over a year ago, Dan Cohen was uncovered some kind of Canadian troll farm that was trying to drum up support for Canadian intervention in Haiti. And they always point to this guy, Jimmy Barbecue. And now he has organized and consolidated all of the gangs that have come back, that have retaliated against this, this government that apparently, look, we sent death squads in there 2 years ago, allegedly, I'd say allegedly, and took out their leaders and put in a puppet government. And the people there don't like it. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. And it's not good, I can tell you, but they're using it. They're going to try, and they're going to go in and they're going to do it. I think they were originally trying to do it through Canada. Canada, of course, sorry, couldn't exactly manage it. Sorry, we've got a Nazi problem up here. So they were a little busy with their Nazis, and they said, okay, Joe, it's up to you, I guess. So what exactly happened? There was some kind of mass protest across the country, and now they're trying to crack down, I guess. But yeah, check out Dan Cohen at Uncaptured Media over on Substack. He's been all over this. He was in Haiti a few weeks ago, and he talks with the natives there and the people who live on the ground there pretty regularly. I know that there's been some conversation, and some guys over on social media on Twitter who are in like kind of the Republican sphere have been saying other stuff about cannibals, but a lot of it just feeds into this narrative that some of these videos are actually really years old, and they don't really do that, and they were trying to tie it into Jimmy Barbecue, even though it's really not him or anything having to do with his inner circle. It's like saying, that a local thing that calls themselves DSA, well, Joe Biden is responsible for the DSA because they call themselves Democrats, like it's to that level of disconnect from what it seems. But yeah, definitely check out Dan's reporting on that. At Dan Cohen 3000 on Twitter. I think that's about all I got for tonight. But yeah, this is always fun. It's like therapy. I need nice. There you go. You got the music therapy. Max Blumenthal just won an award. I know Dave DeCamp and Gareth Porter were runners up, so that's a pretty prestigious thing. 2 out of those 3 are Indie Media Award honorees. I don't have the sound here. Hang on. Here it is. That's the Indie Media Award sound. So, and on that note, I'd say, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We are definitely going to have to get a Dr. Seuss episode going soon, but this was fun, kind of going through the lyrics and playing a couple of originals. And one more time, if you do want to support and donate, there's the Ko-fi link, but also here are the other links: Patreon, Substack, Rumble. Cash App gets us money right now, no fees. All the others take a little bit, but that's okay. We just, any way you want to support us, we really appreciate it. And otherwise, and if you can't, that's fine. We really appreciate you just being here, sharing, liking, telling people about, especially about this guy. All right. I'm going to tell you right now. So I had a little behind the scenes inside baseball. I went out Friday night. Actually, I did leave behind the desk and I went out for Sabby Sab's birthday. And
oh, nice.
and I was hyping this guy up, and I'm like, Sabby, you've got to listen to this new album. She's like, I've been hearing some of it on Hardlands, and so Lucy came out from Blue Moon Red Wine, and Case Study QB was there, and Roger Meadows was there.
That's awesome.
And Denny Haifong showed up at one point, and we got to talk for a little bit. Awesome. And then I left, and then after I left, apparently Katie Halper showed up. So
she was waiting outside, watching through the window. I think, okay, he's finally gone.
I don't know. No, apparently she was doing a stand-up set somewhere across town, and she came over afterwards. Oh, gotcha. So, but yeah, happy birthday to Sabby, of course, and to Reef. Their birthday was Friday. And it was great to finally meet her. I think I've been covering her stuff for over 3 years, and I've never met her in person. So she's exactly who you think she is. She's exactly who she is on stream.
Oh, I bet.
She's adorable. Yeah. She's herself. She can't like mask who she is. Like she's It was just a blast, yep. and I adore her. So
Sabby has this very like unbreakable kind of wholesome delivery that I think is what helps make what she's talking about so palatable for people. Like I've said before, if I have people that I feel like they're not an easy sell on the truth about things, Sabby is such a good show for people because how can you not believe and trust this woman? How can you like her the way she presents it is just so very matter of fact and grounded and solid and friendly and manages to give like a warm delivery to some really awful topics and depressing shit and just put that great spark on it. She's just got such a good vibe and like kind of a positive takeaway all the time, which is hard in this niche that we're in. So yeah, I still, the Doobie Doobie Doo song is one of my proudest moments because people always be like, you don't really have a lot of happy songs. I'm like, not true. Doobie Doobie Doo is a fucking
that's as happy as it gets right there.
I don't know what is, I spent a couple years worth of happy jingle juice on that song. That was I cashed it in.
Here you go, guys. Here you go. I'm going to show it to you for 1 second. There's me and Sabby hanging out.
There he is. That's what Indy looks like. We based the logo off of his face.
I'm Mr. Wilson from Home Improvement. Yes, JB did get demonetized, and I'm hoping that INN isn't similarly demonetized. We basically got hit at the same time for the same thing, and I'm guessing that they're probably not going to bring INN monetization back as well, which is one of the reasons why you see that Ko-fi link down there, why I put up the other area, and why you've got 4 other ways to potentially donate beyond Ko-fi, because I don't think that we're going to be getting our YouTube monetization back. By the way, also, you can go over to my channel, Indie, now it's called Indie at INN, youtube.com/IND Left News. That does get super chats. You can actually leave a super chat over there if you wanted to, and really appreciate if you choose to. Cash App, of course, we prefer Cash App because that goes right to the bank, and YouTube doesn't get 30%. I can't stand that YouTube gets that kind of cut, but again, it's easy for everyone. Their credit card hooked up anytime, any way anyone wants to do it. We love you and we appreciate you. All right, so I've now got this all queued up and ready to go. Why is that not doing that? Right. All right, everyone. Support independent media. We need it more than ever. We love you. Thank you. And we're out for tonight.
That's it. That's all she wrote.